right. So, Raise the Dead. Hi, Chris. I see you're in the chat room. Everybody hear me okay? Oh, shit. Yeah. Is the microphone working? Big Kaufman's set up here. You know him as Vert. He recently wrapped up Shovel Knight. Thanks, Chris. So Jake wrapped up Shovel Knight recently. A bunch of stuff for Yacht Club game. This is one of his tunes. At maybe we'll get around before. Incredibly awesome Kickstarter camp. By the way, if you haven't already, gotten the game for cheap, check it out. Do a search for Raise the Dead. Of the two that you see there, it's the one that still functions. Which audio, Chris? My voice? Yeah. I'll just cut this tune here. Sorry, everybody. No la música. That might have to do with this microphone noise gate thing. How's that? Is it coming through a little bit better? My voice cutting out still. I also mumble a lot too, so that could be a big part of it. I'm not very clear. Alright. Apply that. Sweet. So everybody Monday. All right, cool. I think maybe we should dive on it. Got four Twitch members. I'll give it another like couple minutes for back to do. Yeah, we seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay. Yes, Chris, there is an auto mute when my voice falls below a certain sound pressure level. Like when I begin talking, it'll try turning that off. Okay. Turning that off. Settings. Enable noise gate. Disable noise gate. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me? All the background noise in my house too. Or you can even hear my headset rattling around in my brain. Oh man, you know what's great on Sunday? Beer. Anybody else having a beer while they're watching me do the setup dance? It's smiley face. With the exception of the burp, yes, it's better. Plenty more burps. Plenty more burps to come. Enjoy the burps, everybody. We're going to have a lot of them. All right. What do you think? Should we... Anybody out there in Radio Land want to chime in? We'll get started, or let's want to listen to me screw around for a couple more minutes. waste my afternoon. I don't think anybody else is in chat. It's just Chris Cobb of Ragtag Studio gave me the keys to the Raise the Dead stream. So tune in later for lots of nudes and all sorts of inappropriate behavior. Okay, so let's while we're waiting, I'll screw around and tell you a little bit about myself here. So Sean of Ragtag was saying, "Hey, you should have a camera focused on you, so that people can connect with you." And I hate the internet, and as of recent events within the game development community, I'd rather people know less about me. The less they know about me, the better. So we'll go quick picture here. There we go. Look at him, looking all smart and stuff. And that's it. That's all you get. Besides that, I don't have a webcam. It's just ridiculous. For me, anyway. Also today, we'll be doing this in stereo broadcast. I'm not sure how Twitch handles 5171 broadcast stuff, so just a stereo broadcast today. When we get to some of the more complicated surround sound ambient stuff, use your imagination. You guys are game developers and stuff. Use your imagination, You're smart people. I believe in you. You should believe in you. Not only is this a Fmod demo, this is an affirmation for I'm here to make you feel good about yourself. God, that beer is good. Okay, so now also with this little Fmod doohickey here, over on the left side of the screen, I have our events and our banks kind of like off side of the camera because the Fmod window doesn't quite fit so well with our broadcast software, and I want to be able to see the chat list while we're doing this thing. So and aside from that, like I'm not really sure how much we want to give away, with spoilers and stuff like that, So there's a lot of events named things like Dead Giveaway 1 and Dead Giveaway 2. So we're not gonna fill you up with spoilers today either. Well, since Chris liked my burp so much, I will. Here we go. This will be good. We'll just solo this here. Oh man, that's a good one. Those are some quality farts. You're welcome, internet. You're welcome. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's get into ambience. So what we're gonna do today is go over. Basically, I'm gonna recreate what we've already done for the game, and this would be the first level of the game where Ray is coming out of the grave, and he's wandering around the graveyard, and spooky shit happens, and a couple minor changes. And this is also like kind of playing the field a little bit too, like with everybody on the team is relatively new to using Fmod Studio, so we kind of wanted to pace things out. I've actually come across like better ways of doing what I'm about to demonstrate to you today. But I can't do everything for you, internet. Some of this stuff you're gonna have to figure out on your own, like I had to. All right. So I'm gonna show you what's already done, and then we're gonna go back and recreate it from scratch. Sound good? Oh yeah, and like Chris said in the sidebar here, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm like pretty good at this video game stuff. So, okay. And you know what? Maybe, how many people we got in the chat room? We got 8 people in the chat room. Woo! How's it going, dudes? Everybody else is lurking. Any of you 8 that are in there, what do you think? Should we wait like another 5 minutes? Or should we just get rolling into this thing? Let's see. Can I look up your names while you're here? No, I can't. Oh. Otherwise, I call. It's going. Stealthy Druid. It's going. All right, man. I think we're just gonna roll into this shit. Close this window. Also from this view, we're not gonna be able to see our audio bin, which is also, that's not even the important stuff. So don't sweat it, kids. All right. So this is what we have in game, and what we have so far is we have a parameter set up. You can see over the top here, Graveyard 01 ambience. The map, Graveyard 01, because that's how we do stuff in games. And ambience, because that's what it is. Anyway, we've got a total of 20 set values in our parameter. So it goes all the way from 0 to 20. And that was just in case we needed it. As we, as the level progressed and, working with the Ragtag team, we kind of, came across the fact that, no, we're not going to need 20 different parameter values for one level. We're actually much more comfortable around this range here, which goes all the way to 5. Yeah. No, it goes to 4. That's it. Jesus. And the other thing, too, like, some of you may be looking at, like, this long list of tracks here in the event editor. And yes, there are multiple ways to do this. I understand that. You can talk shit about me on the internet later on about, why didn't he put everything into an event container? It's because pencils have erasers and people make mistakes. So deal with it. Still works, still functions. Let's be concerned about results, not about nitpicky bullshit. Okay, so I'm going to solo out these tracks first, and this is our very, very, very... fuck me, can't do that. Maybe we can mute everything else. No, that'll take forever. Fuck it. Okay, we'll just go right into it. So, these first 4 tracks here, we've got, if you can read this, we've got ambient thunder, wind gust from trees, graveyard wind, and distant thunder. This has multiple uses to it because it's on the timeline at the R-rated stream all. I don't understand what that means, Chris. Anyway, here at the 00 mark on the timeline, that means anytime we're pressing play, we are always going to hear these 4 tracks played within this event. So you can hear this going up here. Nice little thunder bump there. Over here. So not only are you hearing these 4 tracks, you're also hearing the 0 value of Graveyard ambience, Graveyard 01 ambience. So you're also hearing this track, this track, this track, this track, this track. And that's it for now. And I'll show you a couple things why this works out really well. Let's just stop this for now. One reason why this works out actually has to do with our 0 value of Graveyard ambience, and that is because we have here, Graveyard Wind. And our Graveyard Wind has a polyphony of 16, a total of infinite sounds, interval between sounds between 7 and 9 seconds, blah blah blah. Let's see, what else was a max voices? Yeah, so what's going on here in surround sound land is these different events here, all these different Graveyard Wind. Can I just isolate that? Yeah, see? Isolate the Graveyard Wind. And of course that's all beefed up at 0 decibels, so it's a little bit loud. So what's going on here is these sounds are overlapping on top of each other. So this is all soloed by itself. And if we just let that run, ooh, listen to it. And effectively what we've done, just with these 6, I'm pointing at my screen with my finger like an idiot. With these 6 different wave files alone, we've created an endless loop that will always change. This is kind of like Game Audio 101 stuff. You know, everybody's all the hip kids are doing this. We've got variations in volume, variations in pitch. But basically, you know, you could go through the entire game and never hear the same loop twice, just on this wind. But come on, man, this is Raise the Dead, and I want to do something good. So, we're gonna do more than just wind. We've got wind gusts. She's like, "What's the big deal?" I'm like, "Well, it sounds a little deeper. If this were a 5-1-7-1 spread, it's spread out a little bit further." Those of you just joining us today, or just joining us now, we are streaming in stereo. We're not streaming in surround. I don't know how to do that. But these kind of come and go. So we've got, this sound here, ducks in, ducks out, helps create a nice blend. Here, let's see if we can mute all these mama jammas. Let's see if we'll get rid of blowing leaves. Speaking of our R-rated thread. So this is just the wind and just a wind gust. Let's start that over. So you can kind of hear this wind gust, like, it just gives it little accents here and there. Like, we don't need something over the top, we just need a nice little accent, whether that's coming in the rear speakers or, off to the left. It's basically to sound like a spooky autumn graveyard forest thing. Those of you from the Midwest, you'll get it. Those of you not, sorry. I don't know, you're missing out on some great sounds. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Dope. Right. So what else we got in this little bit? We have blowing leaves, and we've got 9 of those. Same thing with this last wind gusts track. Blowing leaves are kind of they have a delay anywhere between 1 and 8 seconds. Limited polyphony. Polyphony is like the number of voices you'll hear at one time. Those of you for the layman. And I have, I'm gonna duck back here. Oh, cool. We haven't lost anybody from the stream yet with this boring crap I'm prattling on about. All right, so leaves. Same thing. Little crispy, crunchy leaves, like super EQ'd stuff. Again, to just accent anybody who's going the extra mile and like they have surround system capabilities with their PS4 or their PC. you know, it's to show that we care. We're actually putting a little bit of effort into our indie game. Just because it's indie doesn't mean it has to sound like shit. So there you go. There's some leaves. All right. So you guys are kind of getting the idea. We got Thunder in here too, and it kind of does the same stuff. And we've also got Distant Thunder and blah blah blah. Let's go without these 4 introduction, and I'll explain again why these 4 tracks, the intro, Thunder, Wind Gusts, and that sort of stuff, are necessary. That's what it means. Joined by Jack Menhorn. Oh, right. Fucking party going on up in here. So this will just be the graveyard ambience, like from the start, without our introductory sounds within the timeline, and kind of putting all this together now. We got a nice spooky graveyard. And we could listen to this for like 10 minutes. We're not going to, but like we could, and it will never ever sound the same going through those 10 minutes. And I have my fingers crossed that anybody who's playing our game, they also are not going to ever experience the exact same sounds. Like timbres are one thing, but you know, we really want to make sure that it sounds unique every single time, just like real life. What? Yes, IRL, man, IRL. Excuse me for a second. I've got this one of these cursor things. Never mind. It's not going to happen. Poop. Yeah, try to ignore that cursor going crazy. I thought I sized these up very nicely before going in. Maybe I'll fix it later. I don't know. So even though it's talking over everything, yeah, you know, it's different. There you go. Nice sleepy afternoon spooky graveyard. So, kids, let's go back to our main 4. Oh my god, too many goddamn tracks. This kid went bananas. Cursor's the best part. You know, Jack, I was looking at one of your threads earlier. I Want a Pony too. Jack did. Was that on what thread? It was one of the magazines you work for. Jack had called somebody out about being a turd on the internet, and it was great. And his response to it was, "I want a pony." What a dude. Designing sound. Okay, yeah, I was on the designing that sound thread about, you know, where they stand with internet abuse and all that fun stuff that's been going on lately. Okay, so yeah, we were just listening to a bunch of, like, you know, leaves blowing around and thunder, and I'm sure somebody's probably turned off by now, like, oh, it's gonna be this boring stuff. Yeah, sorry, not a whole lot of explosions today. But we have these 4 tracks, which are pulled from our list of ambient stuff, and it's thunder, a wind gust, you know, some more wind, and another thunder thingy. Distant thunder. Ooh. Oh, ooh. Oh, it's so spooky. Yeah. Anyway, we have this in place to actually to cover up the delay in 7.1 or in surround sound delays, which happen within these scatter sound events. So, you know, occasionally, like, grave wind here, when it's in surround, will only be coming through, like, the right channels. So you get all these sounds, and you're like, what? Well, it doesn't really create a whole picture, but, you know, just imagine everything's coming through the right side of your speaker, or right side of your entertainment system, and it sounds dumb. It sounds bad. So what I decided to do was just these 4 tracks alone. These come through, in a stereo out. Which, I have this changed over from the main game version. These are always in stereo. These are never in surround sound. So at the very least, we have something that kind of masks all of our different delays catching up to, full surround productivity. So if we have like our wind gusts going on, or our graveyard wind going on in the right side, we have back in our timeline, we have this wind gust to kind of cover it up in the meantime. And also, too, like, we don't want to be super overbearing with our ambience at this point either, because we have, this is like the introduction to the game. So, we're going to have our awesome camera angles and a little bit of introductory dialogue and whatever else is sort of popping into place. And I'm totally losing my train of thought. Sunday, man, this beer's awesome. All right. Now the other, just to kind of jump into some other stuff, these other 4 tracks are also being used in place of. They're useful in the case of save points. So, for example, if the player is halfway through the map and they decide to save and then they close out, we have our ambience set on one single event that responds to all these different parameters, the graveyard ambience parameter. And what happens is, like, if the player's halfway through the level, they save, they quit, come back to it a few days later, and we have set in the background, like, play event ambient graveyard 01 as soon as the level loads up. These 4 tracks will always play, and they will always fit with and I'll show you some of the other ambience we have going on, like, later on in the level, but these 4 tracks will always play. They'll always play. They'll always help all of our different delayed surround effects catch up. And they'll always fit. They'll always fit with all the different ambience that's been designed for this level. So why don't we just dive into that stuff? Shall we? Let's go and unmute everything. And I can kind of give you guys a little rundown, too, of, oh my god, a sneak preview, perhaps, of what's going on in Raise the Dead. Oh, this is on my wish list, too, by the way, for Fmod Studio. A master unmute. Maybe there is one, and I haven't found it yet. What a drag. Unmute. Unmute Chirp Crickets. Unmute High Frog. Unmute Low Frog. Audio 1, which I'm so glad I labeled it Audio 1 and Audio 2. It'll be easy to find later, I'm sure. And Audio 3. Great. Okay. So here we go. This is, we'll go through the whole stinking level. Parameter values 0 through 4. Yeah, that's all we got. Sweet. Okay, so the beginning of the game. Stuff happens. Your game loads, and then krabam! There's lightning and shit. And mischievous things are happening. And then more crazy stuff happens, and then it, it gets crazier, and then Ray pops out of a grave. I hope I'm not throwing out any spoilers there. That the main character of the game pops out of a grave. I'm hoping everybody kind of is not gonna freak out about that one. What? The zombie came out of a grave. You jerk, you ruined it. Also, you know, if you were paying attention to our 4 timeline events, they've kind of chilled out. They've subsided, but you see, like, our all of our regular ambience is still going. Game ruined, bruh. That's right, bruh. I ruin games. I'm a heartbreaker. And this is all the stuff we have going on at our value of 0. We've got brave wind, wind gusts, blowing leaves, thunder, distant thunder, and yeah, it's all in stereo today. So, woo-hoo. Really getting the full effect. All right, so Ray gets walking along, and dude, keep the spoilers under control. I'm sorry, Chris. Ray gets walking along in the graveyard, and as he's, and I'll just manually drag this across instead of trying to screw around with these little dials here, which tend to be like too sensitive when I'm doing demos. So Ray gets moving along, and he's walking, and things are happening, and then things get even crazier. Oh my goodness. And things start to get like 80s horror film spooky with these like ridiculous delays and processors on all these different sounds, and like you might also hear we've got these little dudes here. They're one of our bad guys. They're kind of in the background, just being all shitty. And then, you know, story-wise, I'm actually going to hold off on the spoilers a little bit. So, some other terrible stuff is going on here. And then we kind of transition back into... we start to transition back into a regular old graveyard. You like that? This little scream I have in here, I was really jazzed about that. Like, so as we have things go from like 1 to 2, I just wanted to have one little extra, you know, kind of like our Jason, Freddy type ambient sound design stinger in there. We'll go back, we'll hit it again. It's this thing. Oh, it's horrible. See, even that's how much we care about you at Ragtag. We've got one little stinger, and it's different every time. That plays once in the entire game. That's it. Like, that's the only spot that sound plays. And there's like 100 variations on it. So now we're back into regular graveyard land. Trees. You know, there's lots of cool little art elements that are going on here, like with this like leaf blowing effect, and that's what's actually the big inspiration, like why the wind has to sound autumn. It has to sound crunchy. You know, you can't just go with like, let's see, this is graveyard wind soloed. Oh jeez, this ain't even playing. Oh, there we go. Even this sounds a little crispy. Regular wind gusts. You know, we definitely have our blowing leaves. I believe on a higher... Nope, it's still same polyphony. Okay. It's been a while since I've done this one, guys, so, you know. Everybody relax. This is, this was done about the time we thought we were going to be rolling over to, E3 2014. But we decided to work on the game instead of screwing around, you know, at a trade show. Alright, so Ray is in a regular graveyard area, you know, as regular as it gets for our game. And plot things happen, and things get even goofier. And then we come into a swamp area. So here's moving into the swamp. Ooh, yes. Man, I'm so glad I put that thunder in there. That is fucking good. I hate my wind to be soggy. Me, you know, Jack. Me too. Me too. Soggy. What? You know, soggy wind has a sound to it as well, man. We could do. Well, maybe I'll do this on my own channel. We'll do soggy wind. We'll do a wind demo within Fmod Studio. All the different flavors of sound, or all the different flavors of wind. That'd be a trip, man. Okay, so we could soggy this wind. We could soggy wind this. Well, there's 3 stars there. So did you say ass? We could soggy wind this ass up. Wait? Does this censor swear words? Like in the text? Well, I'm pretty sure you can still swear on the internet. Okay. Anyway, enough ramble-bambling. So, here we are in our swamp. That's a weird censor. I wish I knew what you guys are saying. Like, I don't know. You know, this isn't my channel. This is Ragtag's channel. So I really don't want to totally go into how far I could guess what three-letter swears are being censored. I know like a million of them. Right on. Okay, so my favorite show from the 80s, Night Pond. That's this track here. Oh no, that was Knight Rider. That's spelled with a K. Mine was 4-letter. Huh? And it boils them all down to 4. This is making me so sleepy, by the way. Sundays are totally my day off, and love to chill out. You know. Oh, Night Pond. Okay, so in the Night Pond, looks like we have several pondish sounds that are kind of doing the same thing like all of our other, you know, previous ambiences we're doing, where they kind of blend together. You know, we've got we've got a delay here of about 4.5 to about 8.5 seconds. So I'm assuming each one of these pond loop sounds are about 8 seconds, and there's only 4 of them. And again, damn, man, I wish I would have had. I wish I would have just said, you know, fuck it, man, and had the surround sound on. Just so we could see, like in the bottom right corner here, our output. So we can kind of see what's going on with each little cricket bed we've got going on here, and you know, is it coming out? Oh no, it looks pretty uniform. Okay, so maybe I did originally have this output as stereo, or just like an even spread across the. Whatever. The surround sound would really come through on my laptop mono speaker. Yeah. Alright. So back to all this mess. This was actually, I remember working on this and remember thinking like, my favorite swamp ever in games, Left 4 Dead 2. Oh my god, that swamp is so good. You know, so I wanted to, you know, sound designers often try to impress their peers, and god damn it, I loved those games so much that I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a Left 4 Dead 2 style swamp. And again, the player is in this section of the game for like 5 minutes tops. So maybe we'll get to use all this stuff later, like in another swamp. Same thing. A frog bed going on here. Actually, on the outs, you can kind of see that it's a little bit left and right-ish. Should be a lot more surroundy-ish. What did I have this labeled as? Frog and cricket bed. Oh, and this is nice. Nice and soft. Little chirpy crickets. Oh, that's awesome. It's like I'm rediscovering this project. It's been so long since I've worked on this one little section. Again, anybody who's like just jumping in right now, we're showing off ambience for the first level in Raise the Dead and kind of like how we're doing it. One thing I did forget to mention at the beginning is we actually have our ambient emitter tied to our camera, tied to our listener. So instead of putting up various emitters throughout the level, we always have our emitter directly attached to this camera. And then the way that Fmod handles scatterer sounds, occasionally those sounds do end up directly at your center 0 point, but for the most part they're spread out throughout the radius that you're putting your sound effects at. Am I making any sense? Or like I feel like I'm really trailing off because I'm not talking to a person. It's like I'm talking to myself like an idiot. Here's a frog chorus that is probably on some stupid delay. Yeah, okay. There we go. I think I put this one on delay because those of you who are sticklers for sound effects, myself included, this is not a particularly well done sound effect. This is it's definitely from a library. You're crushing it, boo. Thanks, Jack. This is taken from a library, but those of you that have heard me in previous interviews and talked to me before, like, I hate sound designers that copy and paste shit. Absolutely hate them. And this is essentially a copied and pasted sound. However, I believe I did do a crazy amount of something to it to redeem myself. No. There's pitch and volume randomization, but also too, like, it's super buried in this mix. And then also here in our interval between sounds setting, we've got anywhere between 3 seconds and 17. And again, in in our surround field, should be fairly well spread out. So I mean, even if we unmute this, there you go. I mean, if you really listen for this one sound now, you can hear it. When it gives it just enough flavor, it's not overdoing it on the frog stuff, because we already have a lot of high-pitched frog stuff. We've got our classic frog stuff. Okay, let's see, what else did we have in here? We have a sharp cricket. I'm assuming, I'm calling it sharp cricket. This is called the high end. Got a high frog. A lot of high animals in this game, you know what I'm saying? Low frog. Hey, listen to you. Alright. Right on cue, buddy. Thanks. That's a very, like, classic Disney sounding frog. If anybody's, going with, like, all our autumn references, because let's face it, kids, summer's over. We've got our Ichabod Crane style frog. And okay, Again, those of you that just popping in, this is my Big Frog demo. I'm just kidding. This is for Raise the Dead, which is still has its Kickstarter campaign running. So if you guys want to check that out, that would be awesome. Go on over to... I don't have the URL off the top of my head, but you know, if you go over to Kickstarter and search Raise the Dead, there you go. And also, if you pledge to pick up a PS4 version, you're gonna get a Vita version for free too. I think that was it. Like, the Vita version automatically comes with the PS4 version, which, if you got a Vita, man, that's awesome. I hope to make so much money off this game I can buy a Vita. Alright, and then, kind of last but not least, we were missing, these things are not, these two tracks here, Audio 1 and Audio 2, very cleverly labeled so I can find them quickly. They do not have, hey, right there in our links, in the chat window. There you go. Kickstarter, Raise the Dead. And you get PS4 and Vita all in one shot. Tasty. Okay, so these two tracks here, Audio 1, Audio 2. It's one of our Thunder tracks and one of our Distant Thunder tracks, and I'll solo these real fast. This is I had these put in place for when we're transitioning from the regular graveyard back into like the swamp area, just to have as an extra cue. So, like, pretend we have regular graveyard sounds going on. It's all windy, whoosh, 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 whoosh. And now we're about to enter a pond, a spooky pond. And then we slowly have this thunder roll in on top of it. It's another transition mark similar to it's another transition mark similar to our regular timeline stuff that we had, like, near the beginning. Yeah, there you go. See, Graveyard 01 ambience and lost my track. There we go. There's all these suckers again. Here's our Distant Thunder. Boom, 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 boom. Jesus, this good game sounds scary already. Nah, it's just scary enough. Just enough. Not gonna make you pee your pants. Not yet. Okay, so, Raisin, we've been talking about... Wow. Talking about this stuff forever. I haven't even shown you how we do all this shit yet. So Ray's in a swamp, and then he's going to transition back into another graveyard area. So we kind of go back into our leaves and bushes and all this stuff. But there is something kind of cool with this pond and all this jazz going on that I'll show you in just a second. So Ray is leaving the pond area, and he goes back into being in just a graveyard area. Brr. Woo! Woo! He's in a graveyard again. One of the things that we kept in here, I kept our Night Pond track in here, and on our full surround version, this pond is now to, like, the left, or like the west orientation of where Ray is. So, yeah, this would have gotten rid of the panner effect we had. But yeah, there it is. Pond is still in there. It's been greatly reduced down to like minus 32. Jesus. So you're not going to hear it unless you turn the music off. But, you know, with Jake doing the music, why would you do that? So there's still a little bit of that pond in there. There's still a little bit of crickets and all that stuff. And we're trying to carry over some similar elements going from section to section. as best we can, you know. And then the last thing I'm going to show you in demonstration, or in listening only. I'm not going to show you how I did it, because, I mean, I can't give away all my secrets. But there's also a big, like, section of the game where something happens to Ray, and it changes the course of the game altogether, and it's this, this other parameter we have here, which only has two values, 0 and 1. So Ray's in this graveyard, and then something incredible happens. Oh, there's all this madness going on. Woo! And then plot devices. Woo! Lots of scary demon voices, and I'm not kidding. If you guys are gonna be playing this on a surround system, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then it takes a while to die out too, as Ray has now achieved plot mechanic. Oh. Chills up your spine, right? Chills up your spine. Okay, so we've now been playing 22 minutes now. If I were to make a good example going back to our timeline stuff here, I could set our ambience back. Or I'm going to stop this altogether. I'm going to set our ambience. Oh, good. Finally, like a break in all the noise, right? We're going to set our ambience back at 3. This was our pond area. And from there, you know, these 4 intro tracks are going to play. So remember, like, when I said, like, you know, player saves the game, they turn it off, they come back, and when they come back to it, like, all the different surround sound stuff has to catch up to, you know, kind of filling out the field of surround. So while it's doing that, we have our 4 intro tracks playing. But we're back in our spooky pond. So there you go. How about that shit? God damn, I'm good. So the other thing about this too, yeah, one more thing. This is also put up. I'm probably gonna. You can check this out in the rest of the game. Actually, I'm probably gonna do this in like every level. Where one of the reasons, and I'm doing it again, where I'm pointing at my screen, and you guys can't see that. Let me try and point with the mouse here. These 4 tracks. They're used as a cue for me to make sure that these events are playing back correctly, and it's a lot more well, it's just as effective as having like a sine wave play, you know, or you know, like those for those of you that aren't necessarily audio inclined, it's like those hearing test kind of sounds, like the boop, and then you raise your right hand. It's kind of like, this is like what it is for me to make sure that these events are playing back correctly. Like I always know that these 4 sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4 are always going to play back the exact same way. They're always going to signal that our ambient event has been triggered. Yeah, so there you go. I'm giving away a couple of my tricks. New sound designers out there. So feel free to use those, and then try and go after every job I'm already working. You little turds. Right. Let's yeah, so sorry, we'll check out our everybody's getting bored with this stuff, I can tell. We'll go with the timeline stuff again, but then kind of jumping into this ambience, we'll check out yeah, a value of 2. Doop. There we go. And Alakadoosh. And there's our delicious crunchy wind going on. Crunchy wind. Oh boy. Now, all right. So that's kind of it for the level ambience, like what we have. I'm about to dig into how we did it. Although I think I need to take like a 2-minute break to open another beer because it's Sunday. Got this nice little fart sound for you in the meantime. Everybody ready? Here we go. Oh, that felt good. Oh, professional. Okay. So yeah, everybody give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna grab a cerveza and I'm gonna type it in here. 2-minute timeout. Sincerely me. Takes you 2 minutes to open the beer. Maybe you've had enough. Maybe you should shut up, Jack! You don't know me! Shut up! Just kidding, buddy. No, I gotta run upstairs, dude. You know, I got an office here. And I'm wasting time not getting a beer talking to you about how long it takes me to get a beer. So, 2 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna get into how do we do this stuff? Like, is it all just magic? Hopefully your questions will be answered. And actually, if anybody does have any questions, type them up now, you know, and then maybe we'll do a quick Q&A before getting into demoing. All right, see you in 2 minutes. He should have queued up the Jeopardy theme before he left. I didn't listen to metal in the studio, man. Jeopardy theme. Before we get going, let's see if I can fix this stupid jittery jumping little mouse thing we got going on here. Edit scene. Hi. Toodaloo. Oh, is that easy, huh? Great, done. Ship it, as the kids say. Quick question here. So, you know, depending on how in depth we're gonna go, We've got whoo! We have 10 Twitch members on this thing. Which means I have no idea how many lurkers could be out there. Any audio dudes other than Jack on this board here have any questions, comments, queries? Hopefully, we'll get the question, how do I get a job in video games? To which I don't have an answer to. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck I did it. Oh, that's how I did it. Quality material like that. No, Jack, you're allowed to have questions. I'm saying I know that you're an audio guy. Screw you, man. Do you have any questions, Jack? Any good ones? Like, how do these farts get so good? I put the love into it. Those are made with love and fiber. Yes. I said like a million things. Good, I'm not sure. I don't know. There's a delay on this stuff, dude, so I don't know what we're talking about. Should I just call you and like put you on speakerphone? And like have the phone next to my microphone? Your ambiences are a bit dense. How do you keep them from getting too noisy and muddy? Oh, that is a good question. Well, they are a bit dense, but they're also very quiet as far as like the overall mix goes. Like super buried. So on the stereo output, it can sound a little thick. On our surround output, it's definitely a lot more spaced out. In the sense of like, okay, actually, let's go back to. There we go. Let's find a specific one. Blowing leaves. Blowing leaves. Okay, so in our my best Stephen Schutz, in our event editor, and that's all you get from me today. We've got the scatter sound event selected, and then interval between sounds, 1 second and 8 seconds. On top of this, should also when I select the overall track, our panner should be in 7.1. Instead, in this case, it's in stereo. So 7.1 panner, scatter sound. And then this delay between 1 and 8 seconds, scattering at random places in that 7.1. So that also helps break up things getting too dense. Because right now we have this 1 second, 8 second, like barreling down on surround sound. It's like here's the sound, and then that sound This sound isn't even done yet. This, fuck, won't play. Okay, stop. And then, we'll go. Yeah, sorry, I have the audio bin window open. You can't quite see it. And then this would be this ambient leaves sound. Also, normalized at 0. So it's definitely up there, and gives us a lot of room to turn things the fuck down. So again, jeez, wow, Jack, to answer your question, these sounds get spaced out quite a bit in surround sound. In the case of just the overall mix, like let's fire our ambience up to a level of 2, and we'll go down to our master track here. Our master track is already set at -3 dB. I mean, oh right. Hey everybody, remember those intro sounds I was talking about? Yeah. All right, there they are. So I know the event is playing correctly. Yeah, I mean, look on our output here, man. If you can, hang on, let me check the feed if you can see that. You can kind of see. You can kind of see it a little bit. In the bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, our output is it's nothing, you know, compared to every other sound that's gonna be coming through there. So that's a good way to keep it from getting muddy, dude. Turn it down. It's dense in the right places. There are not quite done yet, but we do. You know, we're gonna be doing a little bit of ducking. We're gonna be doing a lot more balancing with music, and the overall like master buses. Those being, you know, sound effects, ambience, dialogue, music, yada yada. Coming up later down the pipeline when we start to get those things into the game. As of right now, it's too early to really plan for that kind of stuff. I tell you guys, beer is awesome. Like, it's Sunday. You should be drinking a beer. It's an American thing to do. I also have my air conditioning turned off, so I can do this thing today, and it's like a bajillion degrees down here. Bajillion. So what do you think, Jack? I mean, did I answer your questions, or did you just like take off or something? Go take a poop. All right. And there's a delay on everything, so you know, I'll give you time to respond. Yeah, probably. I want a pony. All right. What do you say, kids? Should we make an ambience? Great. Let's do that. Let's make an ambience. You won't be able to see it. It'll be on this left side here. Oops. Be on this left side here where all of our events are. I wonder if they have anything fun, because you know, I'm doing like really boring stuff. So here we go. Here I have a zombie charge at target. This is our male zombie, set on a probability of 25%, which means you know, 25% of the time you'll hear the sound play. Come on. Brilliant. So full of life. Our little undead soldiers. Okay. Ambience time. Let's kick this pig. So we'll create a new event. This is going to be painful, by the way. I should have practiced doing this again. But let's say ambient graveyard. Super Sunday test. Is that zombie you? Oh, I never kiss and tell, Jack. Yes, it is. There we go. Ambient graveyard. Super Sunday 01. Yeah, that zombie's me. I'm playing the role of General Zombie 01. It's another another notch to add into my career. Like those of you who didn't play Burger Time World Tour, I was the voice of Peter Pepper. It was such a high-paying gig too. How could I pass up that chance? All right, pumpkins. Ambient great. Oh my God. Yeah, ambient graveyard. Super Sunday 01. Oh God, where do we begin? Well, we're gonna leave our timeline alone for now, because you know, again, we want to have our timeline markers for every time our ambient loop starts up. So let's go into add parameter. And Stefan, if you happen to be watching this later, you know, impersonation is a form of flattery, or whatever, however the fuck that saying goes. I'm doing my best. You have no idea like how many Fmod Studio videos I've watched. You know, trying to learn the ins and outs of this stuff, and I have just Stefan's voice ingrained into my head. So we set maximum parameter to 6 in case we need it, because right now the level is still being designed by the level designers. And we'll set this parameter to graveyard section. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about either, check it out on YouTube. Fmod Studio tutorials, hosted by Stefan Schutz. They're fantastic educational tools, but Stefan is an absolutely entertaining educator to follow. So get on that, kids. Quit being dummies. Graveyard section. Okay, graveyard section. It's got a minimum of 0 to a maximum of 6. You know, I still haven't looked into if that can be changed later on. Huh. Properties. Edit. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, if you're working on a game and you're using Fmod Studio and you're like, oh, this level only has 6 sections, and then your level designer come back to you a little while later. Yeah, you can add more sections on your own and say like, oh, well, yeah, at the end of the graveyard there's actually a tank battle. Okay, so there's that. I'm not gonna add in our plot device because it's awesome and shows off too many of my own trade secrets. So I'm just showing you the generic stuff. Sorry, guys. Like, if you want to learn how to be awesome, go out and do it. That's my best advice. Keep practicing and practicing and practicing, and then one day you'll be like really, really good at making sounds. And then you can nervously host a show to strangers on a Sunday whilst drinking California Lager. That's what I'm drinking today. By Anchor. Tastes like California. Okay, so one other thing that's going to be missing from our little video display is an audio bin. This is a pop-out window in Fmod Studio that shows off all your different sound effects, like what you have, like your master copies of sound effects. So like in this case, like we have this event here, again, not really giving anything away, called Dramatic Lightning. And within Dramatic Lightning we have what I've labeled Intense Lightning 01 through 6, and it's really loud and blah-bitty-blah. Yeah, dramatic. Woo! That wake you all up? Jesus. Hope you didn't have your headphones turned up too hard. Product placement. I'm not... They're not paying me for this. I wish. Although, hey, yeah, I'm thinking about going to Revolution Brewery next week and Hot Dogs. So, if they're watching, I just like to plug those places. Hot Dogs. That's Hot Dogs on California Avenue. And Revolution Brewery on Milwaukee and Logan Square. I've really got to get behind product placement, man. Or not. I mean, could you imagine how quickly I would lose sponsors? Well, we could go back to guessing which swear words people are typing into the chat window. You guys aren't going to be happy. There'll be a lot of sad faces. Crying sailors. Blushing sailors. All right. Anyway, oh, okay. Duh. Back to the fun. let's get back to the fun. We need a graveyard section, and what do we need in our graveyard section? I'll tell you what we need. Let's go with our timeline, and we need a lightning strike. So, again, you can't really see it. I'll be playing things back, and it's going to be pretty loud, everybody. So, you know, like, watch your ears if you have headphones on. Because, again, everything is, like, normalized to as loud as it can go. But this would be, you know, the beginning of our game, beginning of our level. We need our timeline marker. So, let's see, where the hell did I put... Hey, there it is. Lightning. Found it. I've got ambient thunder stuff. Ooh. Yeah. I've got more intense lightning stuff. This stuff is like super loud. So again, ears, careful, caution. Yeah, you know, we're gonna do that. Let's we're gonna use Intense Lightning 05. And you go there. And we're gonna add an audio track, and we're gonna put in ambient thunder. Yeah, I like this one. Yep. Ambient thunder. And ooh, maybe not. Jesus Christ, that's like way too long. Nope. Sorry, this is gone. Getting rid of this one. I mean, check this out. This is like a million seconds. No bueno. Nuh-uh. And delete your ass. Scrammaroony. How about this thunder? This one. 22 seconds. What was I thinking? Oh, right. Ambient tracks. Let's just go with the shortest. Jesus, dude. Oh, I'm so ill prepared for this presentation. Oh man, I'm gonna get an F. Do 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 do. Yeah, I like this one. We'll do this. This is our what I'm calling Ambient Thunder 02. Again, it's a long one, but hey, who cares? And we'll turn you down a couple dB. Turn you overall down 3 to match our other examples. Put you here. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, good gracious. This is so exciting. You know, sarcasm never really transfers well via text messages. So I can't tell if you're being serious or not there, Jack. But I couldn't blame you. Oof, yeah, that's loud. There we go. We'll use this little wind sound to add a track. Turn you down a little bit. We'll turn you down a little bit. We'll turn you down a little bit there. And let's see. This is so. How would this sound? I think we have a nice little intro there. I think we're doing pretty good. So again, you know, something like this would just be like all of our mono. Well, yeah, they're all mono sounds. All of our stuff, like when we're first booting up the level, and again, it's just something to give our soon-to-be designed scatter sounds a chance to catch up to you know, the proper delays and that sort of thing. Because I'd rather not screw around with within this timeline, saying like, oh, we'll set up a parameter for like an internal parameter within Fmod, saying like, you know, once we get to about 8 seconds, that's when all of our other scatter sounds are playing at, you know, full stream or whatever. Like, simple, fast, get results. That's the point. Like, don't spend forever screwing around on this stuff. And to be honest, like, this demonstration's actually taken a lot longer than it took to do this overall. I mean, I would say, like, the assets themselves that went into it probably took a couple hours, and then all of our different sections of the game, I'm almost gonna say, like, maybe took an afternoon to a day to do. Just being picky and fine-tuning everything, and then going through and saying, like, you know what, I don't have enough frogs. And then you have to go back to your audio workstation and say, like, okay, I'm going to make some more frogs for this spot, or I'm going to make some more... My crickets don't sound chirpy enough. Or, to be honest, like, these wind gusts took a while, too. Like, they didn't sound crispy enough. They didn't sound, you know, crunchy with fall leaves enough. So a lot of fine-tuning, but by talking and screwing around and, you know, just having a fun old Sunday. It's taking a little while, but, you know, whatever, man. You guys are having a good time. I can tell. I mean, I can't, but I got a feeling. I got a good feeling you guys are having a ball here. Ooh, ambience. All right. Party Town. Let's start cracking with the meat and potatoes of ambience. Having a blast. Well, thanks, Stealth. Good. I hope so. You know, I try not to be too boring when I do stuff like this. Although again, you know, like my take on ambience is like. And environment sounds in general, it's like it's one of the most important things in your sound palette, but it gets so overlooked and so easy to bury with important information, like any type of player feedback, and definitely in the case of music, like that's what should be coming through in a mix. The player has to know, you know, what's going on. But, yeah. I guess, I don't know. It's like, ambience is important. I'll say that. So, hey kids, this professional says ambience is important. So, don't screw around. Alright. So, we need some ambience going on in this game. And what we need first is we need crispy wind. We need our crispy wind sound. So, again, you can't really see quite what I'm doing here, but I'm digging around in the audio bin folder, and we're going to pull up things like our crunchy wind, which I have labeled as graveyard. There we go. Graveyard _ wind. And we're going to create, let's add a scatterer sound, and within that scatterer sound I'm able to drag and drop from the audio bin all of our different graveyard wind. So for all of you watching, it probably just popped up like magic, like, oh wow, there's all of our graveyard wind. Yes, kids, game audio is that easy. It just popped in there. And to quote another one of my favorite movies, what just popped in there? Right. Also, maybe you saw, like, I was zooming around here, so zoomed a view a little bit closer into what is our value from 0 before we hit 1. And if we go and play this back, it's going to be a cacophony of psychotic noise, I believe. Let's check it out. Oh, well, it's not that crazy, but... Oh, this is kind of what... Okay, Menhorn was asking... Jack Menhorn was asking earlier, you know, how do you keep it from sounding so dense? That sounds dense. I mean, it's barely breaking through on our mix, but it gets cluttered really fast. And part of that has to do with interval between sounds. let's try a couple different things real fast. Let me remember to label this A and B. Gravy wind. Okay, so we'll space this sucker out. We'll say min max distance of a scatterer sound. We'll give it a bigger break too. We're not gonna quite emulate what we're doing in Raise the Dead, but we can do a close simulation of it. Alright. It's okay. Not the best. I would not ship the game like this, but let's see what we can... Let's see what we can change here. Let's try, here we go. Pitch randomization. By the way, are these coming through on the video? If anybody could tell me when I right-click on pitch randomization, I should have the option to add automation or add modulation. Same thing with the volume. If anybody, you know, I know again we have our delay, but if anybody has seen these little adjustments here come up, that'd be great. They could tell me they're seeing it or not. Anybody? Until that time comes, what I'm going to do is add a random... I don't see the right-click options. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, well, click your heels together and imagine. We've got right-click options here that we're adding some pitch randomization, which now I can't see due to the Windows side. There we go. In the bottom right corner here, we have... oh, boy. This isn't quite... oh, shoot. Remove modulator. Here we go. Okay, well, you can't see it. Fine. You should be able to see something pop up, though, on the... should be able to see something pop up on the right side over here. I'm going to take my mouse and go, woo, and here's the pitch. And I'm going to right-click on it and change that to a randomization. And now we have our field over here. I'm going to open this sucker up, and it's going to give us an option to adjust the number of semitones. Now, if you come back over here, watch these both happen at the same time, you can see a variation in semitones. And then what this will do is randomly change the pitch playback on all 6 of these sounds as they also randomly play back. Also, I want a volume randomization too of like 1 decibel. We'll go 2. And again, you know, we're doing all this for just one wind sound effect. This isn't even like this isn't even like the whole shebang yet. We haven't added thunder. We haven't added other larger wind gusts. And for those of you who are just popping in, this is for we're doing this demonstration in a stereo mix today. Twitch does not have, as far as I know, does not have the ability to broadcast in 5.1 or 7.1. So deal with it. All right. So a couple minor changes we made to, you know, our properties of this event container. Go back into it a little bit quieter. The pitch is going to change a little bit more. Again, this is one of those things where, like, maybe through this demonstration you notice this, but the idea is that when somebody is playing the game, they're not going to notice this, if that makes any sense. Like, it's putting in a lot of hard work to make sure that people don't notice subtle changes. Okay, and with this like minimum and maximum scatter distance we have going on, we're getting some interesting variations in the stereo spread. I think I'm just going to keep it at the defaults. Well, this isn't the default, but I changed it from 0 through 20 on min-max scatter. Yeah, okay, it's windy. Whatever. Let's add some more stuff to it. Let's try and do a speed run too, man. This is taking all goddamn day. Scatter sound. And we're gonna open up our audio bin again, which you guys can't see. And we need, what do we need? We need thunder? No. We have lots of trees blowing around, so we're gonna take our trees. And it feels so much like Bob Ross. We're gonna take our happy little trees, and right where it says drop sounds here, we're gonna drop sounds in. And there we go. We have some happy little wind gust trees. 01. Happy little wind gust trees 02. Solo that mother, you know. Can we swear on the internet? Is that okay? Mamma jammas. Okay, couple different. Yes, these are our big gusting sounds, which we actually want. Like this is a team effort. What I wanted, what I wanted for the sound in the game, was I wanted these gusts to come up subtly and on occasion. You know, I definitely didn't want, you know, all these different wind gust sounds to just be like, you know, going overboard, you know, and have it sound like you're standing in the middle of a tornado. And I'll show you in a second, like, we're going to have this combine with the previous sound up here, our ambient wind. Let me put windy trees. Windy, happy trees. Bob Ross style, motherfucker. Okay. So we're going to spread out, in our interval between sounds, we're going to spread out this to, say 10. Say maximum of 10 seconds. All of this is randomized between how often it plays back. So we'll go to doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doop. 5 seconds. 5 seconds to 10 seconds. Nah, screw that, man. We're going 15. This isn't, you know, this isn't Raise the Wind Gusts, man. This is Raise the Dead. We don't make the focus on wind gusts, you dummy. The other thing I like about working on ambient sound effects is it's very, very relaxing. Oh my god. So totally relaxing. I could totally fall asleep doing this. We're going to put a volume randomization on it. We're going to put a pitch randomization on it. Hear that or don't hear that? Like it's just barely coming through. And that's exactly what we want. We want it to barely peek through you know, the previous wind sound. So let's put it all together. We have our timeline tracks muted. Going back to our parameter sections, we have wind, we have graveyard wind, we have windy trees. Ambiences are much more relaxing than 8 straight hours of gunshots. Oh boy, I live in Chicago, you're telling me. For sure, man. I had this project I was working on a couple years ago that the producer gave us our pipeline and our deadline for all of the weapons in the game to be done within 30 days. So we had gone from not working on weapon sounds at all to all of the weapons. And when I mean all of the weapons, I'm talking 40 different guns and 25, yeah, 25 different types of grenades. I'm sure I'm not breaking any news by saying the game didn't launch. But that was 30 days straight of working on boom, 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 like non-stop. So that by the time, and you could actually I could actually go through my work after that, at the end of all that, and listen to, what was I working on at the end of the week, what was I working on at the end of the day, and you could hear the degradation in quality. It just was getting worse and worse and worse. This is what we call in the sound industry as ear fatigue, where you're just working on the same thing so much for so long that your work sucks. And then we were crunching too, which is another thing about the video game industry. Like, don't crunch. Stop doing it. You're the artist. You have the power. Fucking quit. Go on strike. Start a union. Hey, everybody. Glad you tuned in. Start a union. Okay. Hey, ambience. Wind gusts. Relaxing. Yes. So we've got wind. We have windy, gusty trees. Put them all together. Oh, good. Nice, like, thumpy gusts coming through that just a little bit. Rad, man. Nice. Okay, yeah, there you go. And just like a little bit of that whip sound, like when wind actually hits your ears, not hitting buildings and stuff like that, but when you're outside and you get a big gust of wind in your ear, like that's some of the sound that we have in this. Nice. Okay, let's okay, so we have wind. We got some leaves blowing around. It doesn't sound scary. It certainly doesn't sound like a graveyard. So let's get on with some of that spooky stuff. I'll pop open my audio bin, which you can't see, and let's find high wind tone. Ugh, nope. Sorry, everybody. Okay. I wish you guys could see this window. I'll sing to you this window that I'm looking at. Ah, fuck it, man. Alright, distant thunder. There we go. We'll put in some distant thunder. Ah, poops. Put it in as a multi-sound. I meant to put it in as a scatterer sound. Boom! Scatterer sound. And say dist thunder. Okay. And distant thunder should be random. It shouldn't be constant. So if you can see right here in our intervals and stuff, we're 7 to 18 seconds. There we go. See what we got. See what we get. Not quite loud enough. So we're going to change the max distance to 10, but we're going to turn down the overall decibels. So now we got thunder going on in this mess of stuff. Okay, let's see if we can find some crispier leaves or something. Let's bang, bang, bang. Ambience accents. See, I have all my ambience kind of broken up, which you can't see, but I have it broken up into ambience accents. I also have it broken up into ambience. Ambience is kind of what I'm thinking of as like the main main loops and such. And the accents are kind of stuff that I was trying to use more sparingly. But at this point now, it's already like, Jesus, already like an hour and a half into this, or longer into this stream here, and I haven't even gotten through what essentially is like the first 2 minutes of the game. Let's see. So we've got Graveyard Wind, we got Windy Trees, we got Distant Thunder. Well, let's go with Spooky Air, maybe. Ooh, too spooky. How about? No, we don't want intense lightning. Let's go with just regular old thunder. We'll try that. Yeah. Add a track. We'll call it Reg Ol Thunder. Oh, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Thunder. Spelling's important, by the way. That's just a little joke for this podcast, but spelling is important. Like, you can tell your parents, like, oh yeah, turns out you were right. Spelling's super important. Like, if you can't spell, odds are really good you're gonna screw up an entire project for somebody because you didn't know how to spell warehouse. That's WAREHOU. Here, let me just spell out for you right here. Warehouse. Not warehouse. I'm not kidding you. That is a spelling mistake that breaks games. Because every game has a warehouse in it. Alright. Regular old thunder. And we're going to space that out. We're going to do. And we're going to do that. And we're going to change the pitch on it. Make that random. Zip, zip, zip. Doing this fast. Doing this fast. 5 decibels. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Why not? Okay. Let's put it all together. Let's see what we got. Whoops. Let's start it over. Oh boy. Ready for a Sunday nap. I don't like the volume attenuation we have in our regular old Thunder. I want thunder, damn it. Okay, we're kind of there. What was I missing from the original? I had something in there that was like, man, that it was like the finishing touch. So, because I can't remember from, an hour ago, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna check I'm gonna go back into our events list, which is like over on the left side here, and check our original ambience. What the hell did we have going on in there? We had blowing leaves. Ambient accent blowing leaves. Did I not have that in the new one? Did I just spend all that time talking about blowing leaves and I didn't put them in? Jesus. I sure did. What a dummy. Listen to him, dummy. Oh boy. What a dummy. At least you guys are watching me screw up live. Let's open our audio bin. We got an accent of blowing leaves. Why is this missing now? Oh, you know why it's missing? Because I put it in a folder called fucking foliage. Like an idiot. Hey kids, there's your second lesson for today. Organize your shit. because otherwise you'll be doing a live broadcast and then forget where you left all your stuff. So here they are. The blowing leaves. The, like, signature autumn Midwest sound. Crispy, yum, yum, yum. Crunchy, yum, yum, yum. Autumn leaves. But this is, like, too much. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous amount of leaves. So we want to go back to our interval between sounds. We'll change that to, yeah, we'll give it a little, something like that. And we'll space them out a bit more. And it's on a stereo panner still, so that's good. Anybody bored to tears yet? Should we get back to fart sounds or something? Or I'm just kidding. I'm not showing you how to do that stuff. I'm suddenly walking... exactly! Dude, this guy knows what... Viking Guitar knows what's up. I'm suddenly walking home during the first week of school. Thank you, man. You put a lot of validity into the work that I do. It's like, that's the sound I'm going for. Thanks, brother. All right. Totally made my day. Thanks, man. There's our leaves again. We'll call them, we'll label them now. We'll call them school leaves. All right, so let's give our lightning and thunder a little mute. Let's hear how our wind sounds. There we go. Listen to that. That's something. That's the the weather is changing. Something is in the air. It's that fall sound. Something is in the air. And then for our spooky factor, we're going to add in, boom, thunder and lightning. Again, going back to the beginning of our demonstration, almost an hour ago, the idea behind, doing all this stuff is so that the player never actually experiences the exact same sound twice. Like, we have our feeling, we have our feeling of wind, we have our feeling of the leaves, we have our feeling of the thunder, but it's not exactly the same every time. And the reason why we do that is, as game audio sound designers, we're talented, man. Like, we're making the most of, the technology given to us, and trying to do something unique and different. If I didn't care about what I was doing, I'd put together a loop. Like, just a regular old loop, and then that'd be it. Like, there you go, here's your loop. It's 30 seconds, and depending on how old you are, it depends if, whether or not you've played games where you can notice these loops, happening, where it's just like, oh, God, this thing is playing over and over and over and over again. The current generation of consoles, in the last generation, PS3, Xbox 360, so much you can do. I'm actually shocked when people don't do it. It's just lazy, man. And look, this honestly, if I hadn't been rambling so much, look, this little part here took me 10 minutes to do. And it's an adaptive, forever changing background ambience that, as we heard in the comments here, I'm suddenly walking home during the first week of school. Okay, so great. We've got all that. Very quick. Let's get into some spooky, weird stuff. Let's add a scatterer sound, and let's start getting into, back to our first example. We have Ray start out in the graveyard, and then something spooky and weird happens. So now we need to start getting weird sounds in there. So yeah, I like this one. It's one of my favorites. I call it ambient accent reverse ghost, because it's reversed voices and stuff. It's pretty gnarly. I like it. It's got a funky beat. I can dance to it. Ooh. Ooh. Let's change the pitch on that, and let's add some randomization to it. Doobie-doop-doop-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Nah, let's add more. Let's add more randomization to the pitch. It's all right here. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got here? Ooh. Gnarly, man. Not loud enough, though. Let's make sure it's not... There we go. Right in your face! Okay, let's add some more spooky shit. Call you Reverse Ghost. Ghost! Again, big plot device that I'm not quite willing to reveal on Raise the Dead yet. It's just, yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say right now. It's like a bunch of scary stuff happens right after we drop you in the game. Boom! We drop you on your head with some scary stuff, and now I'm going to add this other accent I call Suffer Ghost. Hopefully this is the one I wanted to use. Solo you, yeah. That's kind of the same. Well, let's keep it going. Let's keep that consistency going. Let's add some more. I like that. Yeah, let's keep you dropped way down, and what? Still seem like the first week of school? No? I'm gonna call you Deep Ghost. Deep Ghost. Alright, let's add another track. Let's see. Oh boy, man, we're almost at 5 o'clock, which means this thing's been going on for 2. Well, it depends on the school. Still like my first week of school. Oh, everybody had such a tough school. Let's go high wind tone, low wind tone. I probably did something stupid like, put all my ghost sound. Yeah, I did. I have a folder here called Ghost Voices and Tones, which I'm using for a different section. So we're not going to use that. Let's use some bats. Yeah, let's put some. Why not? Halloween's just around the corner. If you've been to a Target lately, we're going to spread this out. We got some bats. Cool. Alright, we're keeping those too. Bats. And one more thing. What should it be? What should it be? What should it be? We've already got thunder, we've already got wind. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna add in this high wind tone, because it's just... No, not you. Delete multi-sound. We want a scatterer sound. And... high wind tone. Pew! Pew!